We got a blind guy that needs help.
Yeah, well, that's kind of why I haven't shopped at Sam's in a while, for that reason. And then it always feels kind of awkward. Like, so there's a certain brand of ramen that I buy at Sam's, and I can identify it by touch. It
Mm.
always feels weird to say, "Can I touch that?"
Tulsa Talks is the podcast that is inspiring people to have everyday meaningful conversations to gain perspective and help the world.
Welcome to Tulsa Talks, where we help people have meaningful everyday conversations and gain perspective of themselves and those around them. Today we have Roland, who's going to help us understand what a day in the life of a blind man is, how he has struggles, and also how he might live by seeing life from a different perspective than people that have sight. Russell, welcome to the podcast.
Appreciate it.
So you've been blind all of your life,
Hmm.
completely blind,
Yes, sir.
completely black.
Yes, sir.
How do you know what your life is different than if you would see? What is a foundational difference in your understanding of what it is to see and not see?
I think the two things that I struggle with is accepting that I need a little bit more help than others and putting myself out there as a person.
Okay. What kind of help do you need?
Well,
And what kind of help do you need? And also, what would be insulting to you?
um, well, insulting would be to be treated less than, or to be treated as though I'm a burden, I guess.
Yeah. And what's the balance of that for people that can see that want to overhelp?
Uh, wow, I'd have to really think.
So let's get back to the point, the first one of what help do we need to potentially give to blind people that we don't know that they need?
Um, I would say making sure that a restaurant menu is readable.
Okay.
I would say making sure that a website or an app is accessible.
Okay. So we're talking about technology.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Um, I guess just being open and accepting.
So don't assume a blind person needs help. Listen to a blind person when they ask for help
Yeah.
or offer for help of whatever that is. And where is that balance in your life of people over offering? Give me an
Uh,
example of how I might unknowingly over offer to help you.
hmm.
So we're in a public place. Say we're walking down the street. You're walking along with your um,
Cane or
cane or your
guide dog.
guide dog. How do people interact with you that makes it awkward?
Um, well, like if I call an Uber, for example, and let's say I forget to put in, because usually I put in, I'm totally blind. I'll be at such and such entrance, and I'll have my guide dog with me, and somebody comes up on me and says, "Well, um, they um, they either tell me because of my guide dog I can't get in their car because they don't want a dog in their car, or um, I might forget and I come up and I don't know because you could be in an apartment with or an apartment, I'm sorry, a parking lot with several vehicles and maybe one or two's running and you don't know which one's your Uber. You don't have anybody close by to tell you. Because usually when I call an Uber, like let's say I'm taking my guide dog from Grand where I work to the groomers. Usually I'll tell our receptionist, I'll say, "Hey Kay, I just called an Uber. I'm taking Yukon to the groomers. This is the vehicle that we're looking for. I'll tell her what the type of vehicle is and what color it is, and she'll usually look out for it. But let's say she's on a call and I go out and I don't know how many cars are in the lot. I don't know if my Uber is the only Uber that's running. It's got the car turned on. So sometimes Uber drivers will announce themselves, sometimes they won't.
Okay, so you walk out, there's a couple of cars running, you hear cars, you don't know which one's the Uber, and they can clearly see that you're blind, but they don't take proactive steps to say, hey, this is the car you're coming to.
Right.
So when an Uber driver comes
But
to
it could
get
be,
you,
it
they
could
could
also be
address you.
because I, forget to tell them please honk.
Right, right, yeah. So taking personal responsibility for awkward situations is the man you are, which you just admitted, and hopefully you can do better, and hopefully the people around you can do better too to not help or not make things awkward, and that's what we're discussing right now. So technology, Uber drivers. What about opening the door for you? A lot of people open doors for different people just out of courtesy. And sometimes I've seen peculiar looking faces on people that might be in a wheelchair or something like, yeah, I can do that for myself.
I mean, I'm okay with people opening the door.
Okay. What about somebody handing you something, wherever that might be, like you couldn't find it for yourself?
It depends on the situation.
Okay. Give me a situation that's acceptable and one that's not, please.
Um, okay. Like if I'm looking for my chair, and like if I let's say, so the way my office is set up, um, um, I might say, let's say I'm running group and we're watching a video that day, and I say, "Oh, hey guys, I'm gonna step into the restroom real quick. I'll be right back." Um, I might come out of the restroom and I'm walking over toward my chair and I know where it is, and one of my clients says, "Hey, a little to the left," you know, and usually I'll say, "Hey, I appreciate that. I got it." You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's fine.
Right.
Um, but if they were to reach up and if they were to come over and grab my arm, I wouldn't be real happy about that.
Okay. Okay. Or if you're like in a public setting and you're looking for your way to a seat, um, how do we navigate that? Like you walk into a restaurant, a server, or excuse me, a
So
host wants to bring you to a table.
so today I went to the Big Biscuit for breakfast, and I walked in, and at first the wait staff, they were busy, and I just said, this woman approached me and she said, "How many?" And I said, "It's just me." And she said, "Okay." And I said, "Ma'am, can I grab your arm so you can walk me to the table?" And she said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And she set the silverware and showed me where it was, and then she said, "Do you want to order?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna have this to drink, and I'm gonna have the biscuits and gravy, and can I have a side of hash browns with that and some bacon?"
Right, right. But if that person would have took it upon themselves and grabbed your arm,
Yeah, that would have been a little awkward.
okay. So what if somebody asked you, "Hey, would you like to grab my arm and let me lead you here?"
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. But don't touch you, don't invade your personal space
Yeah,
without asking, especially.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. That seems pretty common, right? I mean,
yeah.
most people don't want to have their space invaded, but they'll accept help. Do you ever have any questions posed to you that are like seem to make the situation awkward? Like,
No, but I can tell you about a couple of awkward experiences.
yes, please.
So one of the places that I shop at a lot is Sam's Club,
Yep.
and I shop at the one by 50, or it's at 4420 South Sheridan. And whenever I go in there and I go up to a greeter, I'll say, "Hey, I'm Russ Rowland. I'm a Sam's member. I need somebody to help me shop, and can you make sure they know how to use Scan and Go?" And what Scan and Go is, it's a section in the app where they scan your items and then you do the one-click checkout and you select your payment method and your checkout's done and you leave. Well, they get on their radio and they're like, I have a blind member that needs help at the front. Can we get somebody to come help him?"
Why was that needed to be said that way? Why would they need to say that way? We got a blind guy that needs help.
Yeah, well, that's kind of why I haven't shopped at Sam's in a while, for that reason. And then it always feels kind of awkward. Like, so there's a certain brand of ramen that I buy at Sam's, and I can identify it by touch. It
Mm.
always feels weird to say, "Can I touch that?"
So you can identify a specific type of ramen noodle in a package by touch.
Yes,
I don't think
because
I could do
it
that.
comes in a bowl, and you can feel the ridges of the bowl through the plastic that's over it.
Okay. And they only have that type flavor in that type container?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's another way that people make you feel awkward or maybe even make themselves feel awkward? I guess you have that sense where
Well, it's always awkward calling an Uber because, and they've just recently changed this. So before Uber put in a service animal policy, you would have to message the driver, and say, "I'm totally blind. I'll be at the main entrance of 12 and 12, and I'll have a guide dog." An Uber driver wouldn't think twice if I had a cane. But I mean, I had a lady, I was at, trying to think what restaurant I was at. I think I was at Cece's Pizza over at 4949 South Peoria.
this guy and his addresses, he knows every address to every place he goes. That's amazing. I have no clue. I've got to look up everything.
Anyway, um, so I call this Uber, I call an Uber, and I put a message in the app right away. And this lady pulls up and she says, "I can't have you in my car." I said, "Ma'am,"
What?
I put a message in this app 10 minutes ago that I had a guide dog with me." She's like, "Well, I'm just now reading the message and I'm not letting you in my car." I said, "Well, ma'am, I need your license plate." "What do you need my license plate for?" I said, "Well, ma'am, I'm reporting you to Uber as discriminating against me." She said, "Well, I can't have you and your dog in my car because my daughter's allergic to dogs." I said, "Ma'am, I put a message in this app 10 minutes ago and you could have denied me the ride." And she's like, "Well, if you're going to report me to Uber, I'm going to go on Facebook and report you as a hostile Uber client." I said, "Okay, that's fine." So I ended up reporting her and
Wow.
she got fired.
Wow. Paying attention to life details is something that is very important to me. I miss details quite regularly, and I learn through those experiences. I hope that that person learned a lesson of paying attention to details and being honest about setting expectations. You told her what you needed. She should have seen that detail, and hopefully she does next time with whatever she's doing. Hopefully you've helped her grow. Unfortunate situation that those things in life happen, and I can imagine the frustration that you had to experience. How long was it between the time that you were expecting to receive that ride and the next Uber driver came?
2 minutes, I think.
How long?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. So not that big of a deal. Unfortunate for her, she missed a detail. Hopefully she learns. Hopefully she gets another job. Hopefully she can treat somebody different next time. So your life was delayed by 2 minutes, but it still didn't feel good, did it?
Not really.
Because you care about people and you don't want to hurt them. It's clear all over you that that's your stance. But maybe some people, including myself, need to learn lessons through challenges of life. Hopefully she did. What other type of experiences do you have in like daily life that would be outside the box?
I would say putting myself out there to find a romantic relationship.
Does it matter what the woman looks like?
Well, what I put on my dating profile for OkCupid was I said I'm Russ Rowland. I'm 33 years old. I'm totally blind. I'm a drug and alcohol counselor. I'm a history buff. I'm a true crime buff. I love to read. I'm a pro wrestling fan, and I said I like, and this was what I was most embarrassed about: big, beautiful women.
We all have our types that we're attracted to, and I'm sure big, beautiful women wouldn't have a problem with you being that honest with them. It's amazing to me in my life when I put myself out there uh, a little bit at a time with relationships. I've been married for 34 years, so I'm not talking about romantic relationships, but just building new relationships with people. The more honest that I can be, the better the foundation is. And there's so many people out there trying to make themselves look better, especially on social media, than what they are. And that hurts. That hurts society by having false pretenses, by having false statements about you. Um, how long you been working at your current place of employment?
4 years.
And how long have you had your master's degree in counseling?
I graduated in 2019.
So you've been working there for just a couple of years after you
Oh wait,
graduated.
masters.
Yes.
Sorry, masters. Yeah, 2019.
So you've had your master's for almost 6 years?
Yeah.
You've been working at the same place for 4 years?
I worked for Muskogee County Drug Court for a year, but then COVID hit and I got laid off.
Okay. So you're stable?
Yeah.
How long you been living in the same house?
2 years.
Okay. And again, stability. Don't plan to move anytime soon.
No.
You know what you want in life.
Yeah, but I think I struggle to put myself out there because I have quirks and struggles. You know, my cooking skills are limited, as I've said. I need help cleaning my house and ironing my clothes, and I have to have a book or a TV going, help me sleep at night. And I think I struggle to put myself out there and say I have these quirks and struggles, but I have something to offer too.
You do. You have stability. You have self-awareness. You have a reason for living by helping people the way you do. What I know of you, you're a beautiful person and a woman that wanted a reasonably good guy would be fortunate to have. I can't imagine waking up blind every day, getting out of bed, and making life happen. It seems like it would be so easy just to shut down and let the government pay for your way. Why do you not do that?
Because I know I'm better than that.
Because you're better than that. What does that mean? Why not be that? How is it better to actively participate in life than not?
Because you're showing that even though you have certain obstacles, you can still be successful when given the right tools.
What's success?
Success to me is having a place to live and a job and bringing meaning and change into people's lives.
I agree completely. I couldn't agree with that anymore. Having a place to live, having food, and helping people live beyond what they currently live. That's the day of the life of a blind man from Russell's perspective. Thanks for having the podcast with us today.
Appreciate it.
We are here to help you discover or develop your passions, how you can use them, and why you exist. How can we help you help others better?